Okay, so it's Monday or Monday, depending on your mood right now, January 20. Welcome back, FOXY Games UK, new and existing subscribers. So in today's video, I don't usually reference these random user post whatever you like sites, but a rather interesting PS5 leak has shown up on Reset Era. Interesting because given what I've been told and taking into consideration at least some consistency with other PS5 information leaked over the past year, I'm willing to keep an open mind regarding some of the following information. Now the post is linked in the video description for your perusal. User Gamer17 either reposted or posted the following, if I may say so, extremely specific detailed information, and there's a lot. Now in spite of the sheer confidence or blatant audacity in this post, the user prefaces with a grain of salt, but that could be because they're not the originator of the post, so it makes sense that they'd want to cover their own tootsie. Now it should be obvious by now, there's a few things in the leak that caught my attention, but that being said, I'm not about to give the proverbial game away. I'll neither confirm nor debunk said rumor. I'll just flat out tell you I just don't know. So starting with the proposed date of the first PS5 reveal event as reported a media presser. You may recall I mentioned a few times back in 2019 that there would be multiple PS5 reveals throughout the year. So according to the post, the PlayStation 5 event will be held at the Sony Hall Theatre on the 12th of February. Expect a short teaser to come out in the next 2 weeks. Now that I don't know the exact date, I just know it is very soon, weeks away. Now the press already knows about it apparently, and they will be able to test games and write articles, and there will be a lot of news and interviews with key figures like Mark Cerny and Herman Holtz. Of course you'd expect that. Now the event will be presented by Jeff Keighley, and it will be a very big show. After all, you have to consider that Sony has been quiet for some time now. Sony's strategy has been not to reveal everything in one shot. Things like price and launch date and the form factor of the console will still be unknown after the PlayStation meeting. Now some of that I've already said to you, that don't expect to learn absolutely everything about the PS5, such as form factor, spec and price and things like that. They'll pick and choose what they want to share throughout these events. So now in relation to in regards to PS5 specs, the post suggests a CPU 8-core 16-thread at 3.6 GHz based on a Zen 2 architecture. Now that's already been out there. GPU Big Navi RDNA 1, but based on some of the features from RDNA 2 like ray tracing and variable rate shading, and apparently it's 12.2 T-flops at 1.8 GHz. Again, a lot of that stuff has been out there. Now in terms of the PS5's RAM memory, it allegedly has 18 gigabytes of DDR6 at a whopping 576 gigabits per second bandwidth. Now I did say about 18 months ago that you should expect PS5's bandwidth to be well in advance of 400 gigabits, so that is very much tying up with what I know and what I've said. Now it will also feature 4 GB of DDR4 RAM for the OS. That's much slower RAM, and sorry to HBM believers. Okay, so there you go. Apparently they're debunking the HBM rumors that have been out there. But here's something I know for sure. 1 terabyte SSD. The SSD is a proprietary solution similar to a cartridge, and you'll be able to purchase them separately in a similar way to an old memory card from the PlayStation 2 era. 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte variants. It is very fast, 5 gigabits per second. Well, here we go. I'm not sure about the cartridge side, but I do know it's proprietary. It is faster than and more effective than Microsoft's solution, and it will come in a 1 terabyte format. So, but I can't say anything about the cartridge. For me, that was a rumor that is yet to be substantiated. So it also has a separate ray tracing core just for the audio. This is something that Sony and the audio people at Sony Audio Kinetic insisted on. A new headphone will be made from Sony and specifically designed for ray tracing audio in PS5 games. Well, that's entirely feasible. We do know there's going to be ray tracing audio. So, and I've already mentioned that there will be a separate ray tracing chip that has nothing to do with the CPU or the GPU in terms of it being integrated. It is a separate part or component, if you like. So overall, the PS5 is a much more balanced machine than the PlayStation 4 Pro. No kidding. This is much more important than just brute force, as developers will be able to squeeze much more from the hardware. Okay, so in terms of games, the first game announced for the PS5 is rumored to be Bluepoint's Demon Souls, or the Bluepoint remake of Demon Souls from Software. Likely, very likely. Now the trailer will start with a dragon I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I tweeted more dragons. But anyway, the trailer will start with a dragon flying through the ruins of an ancient city before landing on a bridge and destroying it, or part of it. The camera will then move to a character in a knight armor. The dragon will spit fire and the knight will be parrying it with a shield. The trailer ends with a voice saying, "This is very specific. The old one is calling for thee," revealing the Demon Souls logo available at launch. Very impressive tech on showcase. Apparently ray tracing reflection all over the knight's armor. That should be interesting and completely and utterly feasible. Though I'm not sure about the precise detailing of the trailer. I can't confirm or deny that, I'm afraid. So this person, whoever they are, whoever originally posted this, seems to have an awful lot of knowledge, very specific knowledge. Now, apparently Ubisoft will announce their new Assassin's Creed title, Assassin's Creed Kingdom. As you already know, it will be set in Northern Europe with historical and mythological elements, and the trailer is not really a trailer, but a long gameplay session, 10 plus minutes. Again, I knew there was going to be an Assassin's Creed, but it was my understanding it was going to be cross-gen, PS4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, before the next-gen only Assassin's Creed comes out. Again, I tweeted this last year, so that's all I can tell you about that. This is much more color to the the tweet that I put out there. So again, this is something I can either attest or whatever. So the game focuses on being a better RPG than its predecessors, and you'd think it would at least aim for that, with multiple endings and more meaningful choices for better roleplay. Immersion is also a big focus. Ubisoft has created a believable world based on the kingdom of Ragnar Sigurdsson, better known as Lothbrok, a king of Denmark. NPCs have realistic routines and behaviors based on the multiple situations they can be found in. Finding shelter from the rain, fleeing their village after a raid from enemy soldiers are some examples. All animations have been enhanced, now with main character male or female, as in Odyssey, moves differently based on the environments they are in. Animations are really similar to something you can find in a Naughty Dog game, with the character touching the wall at the side if they get too close to it or struggling to walk through the snow or mud. As many other games, Assassin's Creed Kingdom will use the haptic triggers to simulate the action of pulling the rope of a bow or swinging a heavy weapon. There are levels, but they are handled like Skyrim or Kingdom Come, where you don't require a certain level to enter an area or fight a boss. Here you can just access the whole world from the start and fight all the enemies. Of course, it'll be very hard because your character will be inexperienced at first. They will handle certain weapons and struggle. It will get better the more they use them. Sorry, the English is not perfect within this post, so I'm trying to correct it as I go along. So sorry if it sounds like I'm stumbling or fumbling. Now, I got a mention that something about ray tracing being used to eliminate clipping of the various clothes on the characters' bodies, but I don't know anything other than that. But it may be something on the next gen versions of the game, according to the post. Available at launch, but after the current gen version. So they're claiming this is the next gen version then. So they're okay. So Gran Turismo 7 will be announced, featuring full VR and ray tracing support, native 4K and 60 frames per second. It will be a technical showcase for the console, available at launch. It features a single-player career like the old GT games of the past, and a multiplayer mode similar to GD Sport. Partnership with the FIA continues, and the one with Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes becomes even stronger. Lewis and the Mercedes brand are on the cover of the game and a big part of the single-player career. Okay, I did already tweet maybe a week ago that Gran Turismo 7 for the PlayStation 5, or the Gran Turismo project rather, has been in development for in excess of 2 years, and it's going to blow your mind. Beyond photorealism, that's already out there. So aside from the Lewis Hamilton Mercedes thing and it being available at launch, that's something I cannot co-sign on, so we'll see how that goes. Now, there's a new Ratchet and Clank game announced by Insomniac, full ray tracing support and sequel to the remake, but a part of the new trilogy, semi-open world with pilotable ships. It looks even more like a Pixar movie this time on a bigger scale, available in 2021. Well, it's entirely possible, isn't it? We do love a bit of Ratchet and Clank. Now, Capcom will show a demo of their updated RE engine and announce Dragon's Dogma 2. Exclusively on PS5, deep down was not at all a waste, and Capcom wisely decided to build upon it and create this new Dragon's Dogma. It really is impressive. A game technically impressive, and a full open world with fights and monsters similar to a Monster Hunter game. It will run at 60 FPS on PS5. Dragon's Dogma 2. Go check out my tweets, people. Now, it's unclear if the exclusivity deal has a limit or not, but the poster is willing to bet it will come out on Xbox Series X and S after a while. Now, here's the thing about some of this stuff. I'm not entirely sure if these people have seen, or this person's seen my tweets and they're just adding to it. I don't know. I could be reading my own stuff part of this could be my own stuff for all I know, because I'm seeing like stuff that I've already tweeted ages ago coming up in various leaks, and then they're adding their own wishy-washy fairy tale pipe dream nonsense to it. So it's rather conflating information, but we'll see. However, Shuei Yoshida will showcase lots of indies coming to PS4 and PS5 as part of the new PlayStation Loves Indies initiative at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Games such as Sky Children of the Light, Inaka Project, and a new game from Jonathan Blow, Lost Soul Aside, and a new game from Ken Levine Studio, not really an indie, will be present in this short segment. Well, that's highly likely. Definitely. I wouldn't discount that at all. Now, The Last of Us factions will be revealed coming to PlayStation 4, PS5, and PC in the holidays. It's a multiplayer-only title made to replace the factions mode of the original The Last of Us. It features an open world similar to games like DayZ, but with the love and care that you can expect from a team like Naughty Dog. What can I say? I don't know. I do not know about anything The Last of Us Part 2 beyond the campaign mode, so I can't comment on this. Again, go and look at my tweets. Now, it will feature different seasons like Forza Horizon 4. Each will come with its pros and cons. Clan support, a battle pass, fully destructible map, lots of depth for roleplay. Players will be able to cover various roles in their game, such as doctors, bounty hunters, traders, mercenaries for the various groups of players, soldiers, etc. Now, the players will be able to build camps and even domesticate clickers and runners. Bit of a tongue twister, that one. 4K 60 with ray tracing audio on PS5 and 1080-30 on the PS4 and Pro. Crossplay is being experimented. The difference in frame rate may be an issue. Sony reveals a new team-based San Diego and developed by San Diego team, and it's Uncharted, a sequel to Uncharted 4, but with different characters and a few cameos from the old games. Just a teaser will be shown, featuring exotic locations from around the world and glimpses at vehicles, both aerial and terrestrial. No release date given. Again, I can't comment on that one at all. I cannot comment on anything Uncharted going forward. I'm sure it will come back in some form, but this is rather specific. So, let's move on. Activision announces Crash Bandicoot Worlds on PS4 and PS5 for the end of the year. Think Mario Galaxy, but with Crash Bandicoot, and confirms that Call of Duty will be back at the end of the year on PS5 and in partnership with PlayStation once more. Crash Bandicoot Worlds, again specific. Think Mario Galaxy. Can't say either here nor there, but I'm sure the Call of Duty series will come back. It always does. I'm pretty sure Sony still hold the partnership, so feasible. Square Enix shows an impressive tech demo of a new version of the Luminous engine featuring ray tracing, shadows, reflections and lighting, along with 4K textures and realistic facial animations, very reminiscent of the aesthetic you can find in Final Fantasy games, but no real announcement is made for now. Believable. That's believable. All I can say. Now, Guerrilla announces Killzone Breach, a multiplayer-only title for PlayStation 5 and, interestingly, PC. The influence from games like Rainbow Six can be seen a lot during the trailer. Full destructible environment and a war mode that features up to 80 players in a fully destructible arena. Remember that first Crackdown 3 demo? Available at launch. Now, this is all picky information because we've seen, job postings regarding a shooter, and Rainbow Six developers have moved over to Sony for a game, so they could just be taking that and adding to that information that's already out there. You never can tell. However, Mark Cerny, the PlayStation architect, announces full backwards compatibility with PS4 3.2.1 VR and that PlayStation Vita and PSP are in the works. Now the PlayStation 4 2 and 1 whole lineup will be fully compatible from launch. As for PS3 games, they will be made compatible regularly by Sony in a similar way to how Xbox already does it with Xbox One and 360 games. All games will receive technical enhancements like 4K resolution, improved anti-aliasing and 60 frames per second. Demos for The Last of Us Part 2, Red Dead Redemption 1, Jack 2 and the original GT are shown briefly. Well, you see, this is a whole backwards thing. There's a patent out there. I reported on it. Hip Hop Gamers confirmed it. Many people are saying it's happening. Some people are saying it won't do PS3 games. What can you do? We'll just have to wait and see on that one. So the last announcement will be a small teaser with in-game graphics of Horizon 2. The teaser shows an older Aloy meditating on top of a mountain before being attacked by a huge machine and hijacking a Thunderbird in order to ride it and fly around with the huge machine. 2021. Okay, so I tweeted again about a week ago. I actually tweeted Digital Foundries. I actually tweeted and tagged in John Lineman because he mentioned briefly in a next-gen video recently that the developers told him that they wanted to include flying of the creatures or whatever the robots, but due to the bandwidth and RAM and certain limitations of the PS4 and Pro, they were unable to do it, so it had to be omitted, but it may come back in a sequel. And I tweeted that out. Wouldn't it be nice if you could? I'd love to fly this thing. It was one picture of one of those robotic giant eagle type creatures, and we're not sure if this tweet is based on, we're not sure if the post is actually based on that tweet or Digital Foundry. We just don't know. This is the problem. This is the problem. A lot of this stuff seems to come out after either people have tweeted it or said it in video, which is strange. Though please note that all games that I've listed are exclusive to the PS5 unless specified otherwise. Don't expect any PlayStation VR 2 news. VR will be mentioned, as you can see, but it is still a bit early for PlayStation VR 2. So interesting. Some of it feasible, some of it sketchy. So another day, another leak. What you gonna do? But some of those within this particular post, seemingly contained a wealth of to-the-point information. Some of it I believe to be accurate, again, some inaccurate. Though to my knowledge, this is the closest I've seen to what is likely to happen. At various events throughout the year. I can't say I know everything there is to know about PS5 because that would be untrue. Not even high-level Sony Interactive Entertainment execs can say that. Given Sony is a global corporation with offices all over the world, it's virtually impossible to know things at a micro level. I mean, they need teleprompters, for goodness sake. High profile executives know things on a macro level though, hence why they have people who report to them within that specific department that they head up. So nobody can claim to know everything about PS5, at least not until everything has been said and done. Though what say you? Go ahead, sound off, share your thoughts and opinions on today's news, because that unfortunately brings us to the end of another video. But let's continue the discussion cordial in the comments. And for all your current and next gen news updates, rumour and rampant speculation, hit the like button, spread the word, and keep it locked to Foxy Games UK. Remember, relevant links where applicable can be found in the video description, and you can expect a hell of a lot more PlayStation 5 leaks before it is revealed. Subscribe to Foxy Games UK. Remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss content. Thumbs up if you like it here. Help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing this video, and consider supporting Foxy Games UK via Patreon, and or grab yourself a Foxy Games UK branded t-shirt or hoodie available in various colours and designs. You'll find both links in the video's description. Truly appreciate the support. That concludes our time together on this Monday. Certainly great hanging out. Until the next video, remember, play games, not corporations. Thanks for watching.